3 of the new Blue Eyes White Dragon structure decks can easily win local tournaments, and as always, I'm gonna show you how.
Subscribe.
It's officially the release date of the new Blue Eyes White Destiny structure deck, and that's always a very exciting time on the channel. This easily has to be the most competent, ready-to-play out-of-the-box deck we've ever had. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to optimally put 3 of these structure decks together to give you the most competent list, and also go through all of the one-card combos and cards as well. On top of that, we are going to be starting playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly Season 3 soon, where we start with just 1 structure deck instead of 3, because the structure deck is just that good, man. We need the challenge. So if you're hyped for that, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get into it. Also, for the record, just so you know, don't buy this. This is the wrong structure deck, okay? Woo! Alright, here we go, fellas. You have just purchased yourself 3 Blue Eyes White Destiny structure decks, and you're ready to get into the game, play competitively, and take down your first locals. This is probably what your list is going to look like, and I will say, this structure deck really changes the way that Blue Eyes plays as a deck. Now it kind of just focuses on one-card combos, lots of non-engine, really efficient interruptions, and the ability to extend through hand traps. I've been messing around with this for a couple of days, and honestly, dude, this deck is actually insane for 3 structure decks. It's crazy. So getting right into the list, we're going to start off with our starters here, and the best starter in the deck is 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue. On normal summon, it adds a level 1 light tuner, and that is not a hard once per turn. So if you can normal summon Sage more than once, you can get 2 searches. And that actually comes up a lot in the combos because the field spell gives you an additional normal summon and you're getting the field spell through the link 1. So 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue, that is the best starter. This will get you 3 interruptions, spheres, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, and an Effect Veiler. You even have the option to change up your end board pieces, like you could go Blue Eyes Spirit plus a trap, things like that. So the combo lines are actually quite versatile as well, and there's a lot of good options that you can have just for searchable Blue Eyes cards. But yeah, 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue as our main starter. And then we also have 3 of the new Maiden of White. This is essentially the heart and soul of all the combos, getting us to True Light, which gets us to the rest of our spells and traps. If she's in the graveyard and you special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, she can summon herself from the graveyard. If she's targeted, you can summon a Blue Eyes or a level 1 Light Tuner from your graveyard. And also, you can just send her from hand or field to place a True Light face up on the field from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So even if you open the garnets, like you can open 3 garnets, as long as you open a starter as well, you're cooking. We're also playing the 3 Neo Kaiser Seahorse. This is also a 1-card starter. And then the final 1-card starter we have in the deck is 3 Wishes for Eyes of Blue. So literally 12 1-card starters. We're already super efficient and super consistent. It's actually just crazy. And if you open multiples, for example, Neo Kaiser Seahorse is just an extender. If you have Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field, you can just special summon this from hand, and it is a dragon. So that lets you extend into something like spheres, and your end board, you know, can get additional pieces onto it. Moving on to our extenders, we're playing 3 Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. This can just special summon Blue Eyes or a Blue Eyes monster from deck, grave, or banished. So if your Blue Eyes gets like Bestialed, you can summon it back with this if you want to. This is good at providing an additional body to go into something like spheres or an additional synchro summon. And then occasionally you may use its graveyard effect to fusion summon using monsters from your hand or field. The next extender we're playing is 3 Dictator of D. Again, this is just a special summon from hand for free, and it is a spellcaster, but you can link into the link 1 to grab an additional dragon on the field, allowing you to then link into the spheres. Really just helps you play through hand traps. Neither of these 2 cards are starters on their own. Like, they can get a Blue Eyes on field by themselves, sure, but their main purpose is really just to extend through hand traps on your main starter cards here. Dictator of D also can just, you know, discard a Blue Eyes White Dragon or card that mentions it and reborn a Blue Eyes monster, which can then trigger your Maiden of White to special summon itself. So like, follow-up as well is pretty decent on Dictator of D. You can cut down to 2 if you want, if you have other hand traps to like put in its place for the 3rd copy. But yeah, for the 3 structure deck build, we are maxing out on the extenders here. We are playing engine requirements. We're on 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon, 1 Mausoleum of White, and 1 True Light. These 4 cards are mandatory. Ideally, you don't want to see them in hand at all, but even if they are in your hand, it doesn't truly matter because all your garnets work from hand as well. throughout the combo lines. If you get into a crazy grind game, you might find that 2 Blue Eyes isn't enough, but playing the third is just a little bit too bricky, and you have the ability to shuffle them back into the deck with something like Ultimate Fusion, which is highly searchable as well, so 2 is fine. Moving on to our one-offs, kind of like our utility cards and things like that, we're on 1 copy of Master with Eyes of Blue. There's some funky combos you can do with this where like you normal summon Master, you add Sage from the graveyard, and then you activate Sage, send Master, summon Blue Eyes, or activate Sage, target Maiden, chains to summon. You know, there's a lot of flexible lines of play like that, which are very, very interesting. And even just as a follow-up, Master, add back Sage. You have Mausoleum on field, so you can just normal summon the Sage and continue to play. It's definitely worth having the 1 copy in there with the 3 structure deck build. We're also playing 1 copy of Dragon Spirit of White. This is always treated as a Blue Eyes card. So in the situation where like you're going second, you can summon this with Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons if you already control the Blue Eyes. Summon this, that's back row removal. Or if you're going first, you can summon this off of Spheres for back row removal as an interruption as well on your opponent's turn. Very, very nice. And then we are also playing a copy of Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, because if we do have Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field, Roar can summon this from the deck, and then if a card on the field is destroyed while this is in the graveyard, it can just summon itself back and protect the rest of your board, especially True Light, because True Light is a little bit of a weakness in this deck. When it's destroyed, it destroys all your monsters. So you gotta be careful about that. You know, Ghost Ogre, things like that. Kind of spooky. We have 2 more one-offs in here. We are playing a Majesty of the White Dragons. This is a trap that you can set off of True Light or search off of the Wishes for Eyes of Blue. It's essentially just a pop 1 or pop 2, depending on how weird your combo lines were. You just show Blue Eyes White Dragons from your hand, graveyard, or field, and pop up to that many cards your opponent controls, non-targeting. You can also banish this from your graveyard to ritual summon, but we don't want additional bricks in the deck. Then we are also on 1 copy of Ultimate Fusion, because Ultimate Fusion is an additional interruption. During the main phase, if you fuse using this, shuffling back your materials as recursion, for each Blue Eyes White Dragon you used on the field as material, you can pop a card. So it's recursion, it's an interruption, and it gets you to your Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon or Twin Burst, depending on the combo line. And that's it for the engine. There's a few cards that you don't want to draw in here, but ultimately, as long as you're seeing some of your starters and extenders, that's totally fine. And then we have a whole bunch in on-engine. Of course, we have our triple Nibiru, triple Imperm, triple Ash, triple Veiler, and our Called by the Grave for a clean 40 card list. I've not played 40 cards in so long, dude. It's so nice to play a clean 40. Almost every hand is putting up 3 to 6 interruptions, dude. If you have hand traps as well, like, it's actually really nutty. Effect Veiler is super searchable. It's a level 1 Light Tuner. You know, you can search this with Sage, you can search this with Wishes for Eyes of Blue. And worst case scenario, like, you can just normal summon Effect Veiler, link into the link 1, and then get to Blue Eyes that way if you need to. But yeah, for the extra deck, you can swap the ratios around here. I do have 3 Spirit with Eyes of Blue, because many hands going first, you will go through 2 of these just to link into Spheres, turning like a Spellcaster into a Dragon to get the Spheres. So you do want to play 3 of these. I'm on 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. I think people are comboing to the point where you're summoning 2 or 3 of these in a single turn. But the only good target in the extra deck is really like Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. You really want to like diversify your interruptions. So I tried to go for like Spheres plus Spirit plus like a hand trap or a trap. So yeah, we're on 2 of each of these. You may want to play Azure Eyes, because that kind of protects them from destruction on the Spirit effect. But yeah, I haven't really needed that yet, because if you summon it on your opponent's turn, you know, during the end phase it gets destroyed, that's fine. It summons back from graveyard, and then you just kill your opponent. So Azure Eyes isn't necessarily mandatory. We are on 2 Spheres. If you get in a grind game and you're just special summoning, Spheres, you know, having a second copy is really, really nice. We're on 1 Xyz. This is really just for going second. Negate all your opponent's face-up cards and then kill them, essentially. We're on Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. We equip this to a Blue Eyes White Dragon throughout most of the combos, and while this is in grave, it kind of acts as targeting protection. You can just banish this from grave if your opponent targets one of your Blue Eyes and negate the effect. But also, we're playing Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. This is like Necroquip Princess. You can send a Blue Eyes equipped with Neo to the graveyard to summon out the Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, or you can just fuse into it with Ultimate Fusion. That's also fine. Finally, we are playing the Twin Burst Dragon as well. You could argue this is a flex slot. This could possibly be like Azure Eyes, but it can't be destroyed by battle. Maybe that comes up. I don't know. So yeah, this is the entire 3 structure deck list. In terms of side deck or like other cards I kind of wanted to consider, Burst Stream of Destruction. You know, it's like a Rageki. It's not a hard once per turn if you control Blue Eyes, which is very, very likely. You can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. You can maybe put these in going second, siding out like a Majesty and like some other going first card. And then other good cards we have that we can set off something like True Light is Destined Rivals. If you control Blue Eyes White Dragon, just negate all face-up monsters your opponent controls. That's an insane effect. The only issue is that more than likely, if you're using your interruptions correctly, you'll be negating like 1 or 2 cards with this at most. So it's kind of just like an imperm, I guess. But if you are playing against a deck that doesn't care about their monsters getting destroyed, like Fire Kings, for example, maybe Destined Rivals is better to set than something like Majesty, so you could side that in going first. And the ultimate creature of destruction basically guarantees that you survive a turn, or you just end on like a massive towers. So against something like Tenpai, this could come in going first, and they literally just can't kill you. So yeah, definitely cards worth considering, but did not end up making the final cut. And looking through the rest of the deck here, yeah, you just don't really need to play Alternative or Abyss or, you know, any of the ritual cards. The stones don't really do anything. There was a funny situation where I did play one Stone of Legend, searched it, and then normal summoned it to grab a Blue Eyes in hand for additional fusion material on Ultimate Fusion. But yeah, that really didn't matter as much as it should have. And there isn't really anything in here that stands out, you know? That's all the cards. We've basically got all the good cards in the deck here. So yeah, definitely going with this list here as the most optimal variant. And there's many one-card combos, so let's get into those. All right, here we go. So the first combo we are going to get into is our best one-card combo, and that is with 4 cards in hand plus the Sage with Eyes of Blue. So we are going to start by normal summoning Sage and activating the effect to add a level 1 light tuner. That is going to be the Maiden of White added to hand. We're then going to link our Sage into the Link 1 Spirit with Eyes of Blue, activate the effect to add our field spell, and we're going to activate the field spell and activate the effect of the field spell targeting our Link 1 here to dump a Blue Eyes White Dragon and increase its attack by 800. We're then going to activate the effect of Maiden in White from hand to place a face-up copy of True Light, and then we can activate the effect of Spirit, tributing itself to special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from the graveyard. And because Blue Eyes White Dragon is special summoned, we can summon our Maiden of White from the graveyard as well. Now from here, we are going to synchro into the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, because when True Light is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, it's going to blow up our entire field. So if our opponent chains something like Ghost Ogre to the effect, it's going to activate in graveyard to blow up our field. We can negate that effect with the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. So this kind of like protects our board a little bit from Ghost Ogre here. But yeah, we will activate the effect of True Light, setting a copy of Wishes with Eyes of Blue, and then it is a normal spell, so we can just activate that effect, discarding 1 card to add a second Sage with Eyes of Blue and a Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. You can add a different interruption here, but because I am going for Spheres plus Spirit Dragon, this is the way I'm doing it in this combo line. From here, we will activate Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons and special summon our Blue Eyes back from the graveyard, and then we'll activate the effect of Wishes Engrave. So it's going to banish itself and equip our Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to our Blue Eyes here. We'll use our additional normal summon off the field spell to normal summon Sage. Sage effect is going to grab a copy of Effect Veiler from the deck, and then we can once again link into the Link 1 using our Sage here to give us a dragon on the field. 2 dragons is of course going to be a Spheres, and so we have Spheres as an interruption, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon as an interruption, tributing into the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. We have the Effect Veiler, we have the targeting protection on Blue Eyes monsters, and then additionally on our opponent's turn, True Light can special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon, which will trigger the Maid to special back as well. If she's targeted for an attack, she can special summon from graveyard, and the Seal can also tribute into the Spirit, giving us a spell or trap banish. So a whole lot of interruptions, 3 additional cards in hand as well, which could, you know, be additional interruptions, hand traps. We have so many of those in this deck. Yeah, very, very strong combo. If you resolve all of that, you probably win the game. All right, next combo is going to be just with Maiden of White, and we are actually going to be making use of her second effect on field, which is cool. So we are going to start by activating the Maiden of White effect in hand to place a face-up True Light, and then the effect of True Light placing a copy of Wishes for Eyes of Blue. We're then going to activate Wishes, adding both a copy of Sage and your back row interruption of choice. We're going to go with Majesty here because we get 2 pops in this combo. Normal summoning the Sage, we're going to activate the effect adding Master. From here, we're going to link off the Sage into the Spirit with Eyes of Blue and activate the effect to grab the field spell. We'll activate the field spell and activate the effect target and Spirit, dumping a Blue Eyes to increase its attack. We'll then activate the effect of Spirit, summoning back the Blue Eyes, which is then going to trigger the Maiden of White engrave as well. Now, while we're here, we might as well activate the effect of Wishes to equip our Neo Blue Eyes ultimate to our Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then we're going to use our additional normal summon from the field spell to normal summon Master. Master effect on summon is going to grab us back a copy of Sage from the graveyard. We can link that Master into our second Spirit with Eyes of Blue, and then that is 2 dragons on the field. So we can link those 2 bodies into our Heavenly Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. And now, with the Sage in hand, we're going to activate the second effect of Sage, sending itself to graveyard, targeting the Maiden of White. If our opponent has no response, we can chain Maiden of White to summon Master from the graveyard as a level 1 Light Tuner. And then Sage will resolve, sending Maiden, summoning out our second Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then we can synchro these 2 into our Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Set Majesty, which has 2 pops thanks to the 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons in graveyards, and pass to our opponent with all 4 cards still in hand. Wait, did I discard for Wishes? Oh, I didn't discard for Wishes. Whoops. Okay, so 3 cards in hand. There we go. All right, next 1-card combo. We got just Wishes for Eyes of Blue, and this is basically the same end board. Again, we're all just really circling around the same effects in different sequences to get to the same end board. So starting off with our Wishes here, we're going to discard a card and add a copy of Sage and a copy of Roar from the deck to the hand. We're then going to normal summon the Sage and activate the effect of Sage to add our Maiden of White to the hand. We'll activate the effect of Maiden, sending itself to the graveyard to place a copy of True Light, and then we can activate the effect of Roar, special summoning a Blue Eyes from the deck, which will trigger the Maiden engrave to special summon herself. Now from here, we might as well activate Wishes to once again equip to our Blue Eyes White Dragon a copy of Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, getting us that protection in the graveyard. We can link the Sage into our Spirit with Eyes of Blue and activate the effect, grabbing ourselves a copy of the field spell. And then we can link the Spirit and the Blue Eyes White Dragon into our Heavenly Spheres. Now we're going to activate the field spell here and activate the effect targeting Maiden. Then we can chain Maiden's effect to summon back Blue Eyes White Dragon from the graveyard. Mausoleum will resolve, sending the second copy of Blue Eyes from the deck. And we can synchro our Maiden and our Blue Eyes White Dragon into the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. And we haven't activated the effect of True Light yet. We can do that now. Setting a spell or trap. We can set the Majesty, because once again we have 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons in the graveyard here. So that is going to be 2 pops on the Majesty. Again, with the 3 interruptions, we have the Spheres, the Spirit, and the Trap card, or, interruption of choice set from the True Light, plus the 3 cards in hand. All right, the final 1-card combo I'm going to show you here today is the Neo Kaiser Seahorse. This is arguably the worst starter. You still do get 3 interruptions. You're just missing Spheres off the end board. So we are going to normal summon our Neo Kaiser Seahorse and link into the link 1. Spirit with Eyes of Blue. We're going to chainlink 1 to add the field spell, chainlink 2 to dump a level 1 Light Tuner. We are going to dump the Maiden of White and add the field spell. We'll activate the field spell and effect target in the link 1 to dump Blue Eyes White Dragon and change its attack. We'll then tribute to summon back the Blue Eyes White Dragon from the graveyard, which will, of course, again trigger the Maiden from graveyard to summon herself. And then we'll activate her effect on field to place a True Light. We'll go effect of True Light, setting a copy of Wishes for Eyes of Blue. Then we'll just activate that, discarding 1, grabbing a copy of Sage and a copy of Majesty here. We'll go Wishes effect in graveyard just while we have Blue Eyes on the field, equipping him with a Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And then we will use our additional normal summon from the field spell to normal summon Sage and activate the effect, grabbing an Effect Veiler because there's no level 1 Light Tuner extenders we can add here to get to a Spheres or anything. Otherwise we could maybe add Roar as well to get to Spheres, but this is fine. This is still 2 interruptions. And then we can synchro these 2 off for our Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Set the Majesty, which has 1 pop this time, and we have the Effect Veiler plus 3 other cards in hand. So we are missing the Sphere's Bounce and the Dragon Spirit of White Speller Trap Banish. However, we do get the Effect Veiler in hand with this combo. We still have the protection on the Neo Blue Eyes. We got the follow-up with True Light, Summoning Blue Eyes, and the Maiden as well. So it's still a very fine combo, giving us 12 one-card starters instead of 9, which is nice. It's also just, you know, an extender if you have other starters. So yeah, there we go. That is all the combos. That is the Blue Eyes White Destiny structure deck. Very, very efficient. Lots of ways to get to your end boards, and just a solid deck all around. Very excited to get into playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly Season 3 and experimenting with all the different engines we can mix with this deck. Also excited to see if we can actually compete at locals with a singular structure deck. That's going to be really, really fun. But yeah, hopefully this video helped you with the structure deck a bit. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly, and we'll see you in the next one. Adios.